Today, I want to talk to you about 3 reasons why you should close your credit card account. So stay tuned. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from skip tracing to collecting to management, and I've owned 2 debt collection agencies. For the past 8 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit, and now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. Let's go. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you haven't had time, and you're new or you've watched these videos and you haven't done this yet, be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Like this video, like this video, like this video. Okay, so closing credit cards accounts typically aren't a good idea. Why? Because it can hurt your utilization, it can hurt your time, especially if it's an old account, it can hurt your history with regards to your account, right? Let me give you a small example. Let's say you have 2 credit cards. They both have a $1,000 limit. One of the credit cards is maxed out with $1,000. The other credit card is paid with a 0 balance. With that, your credit card utilization will be at 50%, correct? Now, let's say you close out that $1,000 account with a 0 balance. Now your utilization goes up to 100%, and that card is maxed out. And so that's where, that could become a problem. But nevertheless, there are some situations and some circumstances which I would recommend that you do close out your credit card accounts, and let's get into the 3 reasons why. Number 1, separation or divorce. With joint accounts, I always recommend that people, if you have a joint account and you're getting a separation or divorce, that you close the account out, because the significant other, depending on why you guys got a divorce, can charge up that credit card account and not care. Now, as a debt collector, let me explain to you a story in which I've seen probably a dozen times. I call a consumer up. They own a credit card account. I get them on the phone. I remember this lady, she owed like $5,000. And she was like, well, hey, that was a joint account, and through my divorce decree, the judge determined that I'm not responsible for this account. Now, what I've always told these people is this. In the court system, there are 3 different courts, right, that we have to deal with. You have family law, you have civil law, and you have criminal law. Typically, those jurisdictions don't cross in. So what happens is, if we're going after you on a civil suit with regards to an account that is owed, that she actually owed, then what ends up happening is we'll go after you with regards to the civil suit. Now, she explained to me, hey, in court, the judge said that my spouse was responsible for the actual debt. In this case, this account. Now, what ends up happening is what I told her is, well, we'll go after you in the civil court, or beforehand, you can either avoid the civil court and pay. We'll give you a discount given the circumstance of what it is. We'll send you an actual letter showing what it is that you paid, and then you have to go back to family court and go after your spouse, or even go back to civil court and go after your spouse with regards to the balance. Now, in a lot of cases, typically, when people are getting a divorce because of finances, a lot of times one person's finances are better than the other, or whatever the circumstance may be. But that's what typically happens. And so then what ends up happening is they try and go after them with regards to the money. And if that spouse doesn't have the money, then you pretty much just have a judgment and you don't get paid. But to avoid a judgment going on your account, or whatever the circumstance is, a lot of times the spouses have to bite the bullet and pay the account. Another situation, obviously, which happens more with males, and not being biased, is similar situation. You have a joint account, or you have an account and that person's responsible for that car, but it's in your name. They may charge the account up. So within a separation, if you're getting a separation, the best thing to do is to pay those credit card accounts down and pay them off to avoid problems down the line, okay? So that's the number 1 reason. Number 2, high annual fees. High annual fees on an account that you don't use, right? So typically when you open up a credit card account, typically the higher balances will have some type of annual fee, or on the subprime, in the subprime division, if your credit is not too bad, a lot of times you get credit cards and they'll charge you fees as well. Now, if the fees that they're charging you, because typically if they're going to charge you a fee, they have initiatives, they have money that you can gain back, which will supersede the amount that you pay them, which makes it worth it. In that case, obviously, you wouldn't close the account out. But with an account that you don't use the benefits for, you got a travels reward account, but you never travel, but you're paying a fee each month for it. Close that account out. Why charge yourself the fees and the money for that? And, why be throwing money away and you're not even using the account, utilizing the account the way you're supposed to utilize it? And number 3, your last and final reason to close a credit card account out is no discipline. This is probably one of the hugest issues and situations with regards to it. Obviously, there are guys and women out there who have spending problems. There are people out there just like gamblers who, when they have the credit, going shopping gives them a feel of gratitude. It gives them a feeling of ecstasy every time you shop and you get a lot of stuff. Now, if you don't have any discipline to obviously pay the balances, or you're shopping a lot of times on your credit cards, you're spending those balances and you're barely paying the minimum payment or not paying it back, then I would recommend you close the account out at that time span too. Because obviously you're going to be paying a lot of interest rate, your cards are going to be maxed out, it's going to be hard to get anything else, and chances are that stuff down the road can hurt you as well. Get a judgment on your record, be sued on an account, get your wages garnished. A lot of things can happen with regards to that. Those are the 3 reasons why I would recommend that you close out a credit card account. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions about credit or debt. If you want a pay to delete letter or a goodwill letter free of charge, email me at askadebtcollector@barrettrecovery.com. I'll put that down in the descriptions. And as I always say, you be great.